If you're thinking about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, there's one suburb in the area that is seeing a $4 billion economic story, and not a lot of people are talking about it online. What we're breaking down in this video are 3 suburbs that are going to explode in 2027 in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. We're going high level, showing you on the maps where these towns are located and why they're poised for such explosion. Then we're going to go a little bit mid-level. We're going to talk about the data, the area, what people are interested in there, who these areas are good for. So you're not going to want to miss out on that area that we're going to tell you about. So let's start out at a high level with Wake Forest, and I'm going to straight talk to you about where Wake Forest is located. And I've mentioned this on my other videos that Wake Forest is a beautiful area. Wake Forest is out of the way, and at first I was like, what is the deal? I don't understand why people are so in love with Wake Forest. It's cute and all. There's one of the main streets right there in a picture, but we're going to get this out of the way so you can get a really good picture of where Wake Forest sits in Raleigh in the area. So here's Raleigh. Here's the inner belt line of 440 and 40, and then 540 goes all the way around. It is connecting through here. You're going to see Wake Forest up here and to the right. Now, initially, this is going to look not too far away. It's like, oh yeah, it's a little drive outside of town. You have to zoom in and you have to realize what the layers are that you're going through. This is downtown Raleigh. 440 surrounds downtown Raleigh. And then you've got a whole nother layer. So when you say Capitol Boulevard, which is right here coming up through this area, it's labeled as 1, or down here it's US 1. Same freeway, but never really kind of connected through the middle. You've basically got this long drive all the way up to this area, all the way up through here, past 98, into the heart of Wake Forest. So that's the number one thing people need to understand about Wake Forest. Now, is it fairly close to 54? Yeah, but if you live here in Wake Forest, you live up by the Joyner Park, which they're building a lot down in the south area in Danforth here, and down over in the east side. They are building down here. This is where the new, every town starts to expand out with development. So Wake Forest is no different. Now the downtown area is beautiful. There's a really cute downtown. They've got nice little shops, a coffee shop, restaurants and things down there. Most people are not living in the downtown area. They're living on these outskirts all around Wake Forest. And they have also up north between the main Wake Forest area and Youngsville, which is the next town. Youngsville's a very small town compared to Wake Forest. Right up in here, they're buying up farmland and building. They're actually cutting right now the prices because they can't sell them right now. Now, I expect this in 2027 to change. I expect that this area is going to be massive growth, and we're going to tell you in a little bit some of the statistics and some of the reasons why. As you can see, if you are in the heart of Wake Forest, you're coming down, you're taking either this slow road over to, let's say you want to get to the airport. Okay, here's the airport down here. You're basically coming down Wake Forest all the way around 540 and looping all the way around to get into the Raleigh-Durham airport. Okay, it is a long drive. We estimated at 35 to 40 minutes without traffic. Research Triangle Park, same thing. Let's show you where Research Triangle Park is. I got to zoom out a little bit. Here's Wake Forest. Way over here is Research Triangle Park, and Durham's up here. I have another video where we're going to talk about how you pronounce that, Durham or Durham. But anyway, locals have told me both. So this area, however, has such an appeal, and what's interesting is you've got these websites that track millions of people moving and searches, and Wake Forest is ranked #1 on the Move Buddha website. Move Buddha is a moving tracking website. They track data right across the metaverse, across the internet, and about 5 people are searching to move for every 1 person searching to leave. So they're saying that there is a high ratio of more people moving in than out. Travel and Leisure magazine backed it up and said it's the best suburb to move in the US. Right now, the statistic is about 65,000 population and growing by 7 per day. Wake Forest has a top appeal. Now, we're gonna dive a little bit into what you get there, but basically you've got all the shopping you need. It's just you need to be ready for this corridor here. You need to be ready that when you first pull out of downtown Raleigh and you're headed up Capitol Boulevard, you're gonna run into an area here that's a little rough, quite frankly. And it just is kind of a older part of town and not updated, not upgraded. As you start to get past 540 here, you will start to see it's getting more and more beautiful. And as you see, there's more green, 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 green all around. That's where Wake Forest opens up. The greenery comes. There's a lot of retirees out there. It's not only retirees, but there's a lot of retirees because they just like, hey, there's sprawl and it's beautiful. I just want to live a little outside of everything. I don't need to get to the hot spots. I don't need the metro lifestyle. I don't need to go to concerts a lot. I don't need to, and you can do all that stuff. You just got to drive into the main part of Raleigh or down to Cary, Apex, where there's a lot more cultural things going on. Downtown Raleigh, lots of culture. Cary, Apex, lots of culture. Holly Springs, Fuquay, a little more small town culture. Garner, a little more small town culture. This is again, just high level on this area. The income profile for Wake Forest is significant. Median household income is just over $120,000 per household. That's 73% higher than the North Carolina median. And within 5 minutes of the town center, it grows to $132,000. So as you can see, this is a high earning, high demand market. That matters for what happens to home values here. In 2026, we're seeing massive expansion, and it seems like it's an anticipation of what's coming, that people are going to migrate to this area, they are going to fill it up, and they are going to buy up these homes. One interesting note of contrast that I'd like to bring up is that the developments in Wake Forest are providing a lot of amenities. Not only are they providing the pool and clubhouse, the typical thing, a gym, playground, they're providing like 6 or 7 hiking paths. They're providing dog parks. They're providing everything you need to stay in the community except for going to the grocery store. So there's obviously a mentality of centrism, of kind of coming into a central place. Now you contrast that to, for instance, a D.R. Horton development in Apex. They're giving you one model. You can have any model you want as long as you want the one model that they give you when it comes to the townhomes, and 0 amenities. They're not building a pool. They're not building a playground. You'd have to get in the car and take your kids to the local park or community park, Apex Community Park or playground. And that's because Apex is in high demand. So I think they're still anticipating growth here with Wake Forest, but we expect it to explode in 2027. In addition to having a great downtown with a real walkable vibe and brick buildings, the Wake Forest area has an amazing park system, including Joyner Park, Falls Lake, and Neuse River. So if you're an outdoors person or you have an outdoor family, this is checking a lot of boxes. For the hybrid worker or for the remote worker, Wake Forest is a great choice. The schools are still in Wake County, which is one of the stronger public school districts in the state. You've got Heritage High School, Wake Forest, Rollsville High School, and multiple well-rated elementaries in the area. This is a draw for families and something some people miss because Wake Forest is so far north of the Raleigh area. One thing I will tell you is that navigating Wake County school assignments can be tricky. So the best thing to do is sit down, find out the addresses that you're interested in, and definitely find out exactly what schools those are assigned to and if they're capped. All of this plays together into whether Wake Forest is going to be a fit for you, and it's a reason that we go and sit down and talk about these things with clients that we help relocate, just like we did, from another state or another city. Next, we're going to look at the future and growth in our last part of this Wake Forest segment, and some things that a lot of YouTubers aren't talking about. The Wake Forest Exchange just broke ground in 2025. It's a $38 million commercial project with 175,000 square feet. It's going to bring 640 jobs to the area, and already the leases are being bought up by businesses that want to be in the area. It's not a future plan, this is already happening. UNC Rex Hospital, University, North Carolina, has plans to build a new new hospital in Wake Forest. When you see hospitals coming in, especially the reputation of UNC Rex, that's a big deal because investors and money is going to come into the area. Jobs will be needed, housing will be needed. These are the reasons that we're projecting Wake Forest to continue to explode in the following years. In addition to all of that, the federal government has committed to a $1.9 billion project to build a rail system that travels from North Carolina up into Virginia. Now, this is starting out as freight lines. It will be changed to add passenger lines eventually. This is a big deal because in about 10 to 15 years, when this project's done, so the construction is already underway for this rail system. They broke ground on it, which means they're fully committed to making this happen. What does a passenger rail system do to a suburb? Well, it completely opens up a different buyer profile. We're talking about people who will buy and move into the area. This is what some people miss when they're looking at the area, and that is just simply that the system is coming in and it's going to move a lot more people in and out of the area. Just before I show you an area that most people pass by and is easily missed for future growth and explosion, let's talk about the trade-off with Wake Forest. The trade-off is the prices. It has gone up in price because of the demographics, because of the people moving into the area, because of the pricing, and basically you've gotten to where now a house is about $500,000 in the area. So that's above average and above the median price for Wake County. So that makes Wake Forest formerly a hidden gem and now a pretty well-known area. Here's the bottom line on what I see with Wake Forest. People love to live there, and if you meet somebody in Raleigh or wherever you may be at a concert, you go, "Oh, you live in Wake Forest? I live in Wake Forest too. Don't you love it?" That's the kind of conversation that has, "Oh yeah, I love the trees. I love that it's so far out of the way and the parks are just beautiful." Those are the conversations that people are having, and that's why people really fall in love with this area. I think the right person for Wake Forest is going to appreciate being outside of town. There is a seminary in the center of Wake Forest town, and so there are college students and seminary students there, but really the majority of people they want a little bit of a kickback life. They're going to go downtown on the weekend. They'll get in the car and travel for the places that they need to go, but most of the time they just want to kick back in Wake Forest. Next up is the biggest story economically when you come to the state of North Carolina, and as you can see, we're talking about Clayton. Clayton sits 15 miles southeast of Raleigh on I-40. As you can see by this statistic, the population jumped from 26,000 to 30,000 people just in about a 10 or 12 year period. And that number is going up significantly day by day. Clayton sits about 35 to 45 minutes from Research Triangle Park. So here's the first thing. If you're commuting regularly to Research Triangle Park, this area might not be for you. Let's zoom out on the map and take a look at where it sits. Okay, just earlier we were talking about Wake Forest, way up here in northeast Raleigh. We're now talking about southeast Raleigh. So your destination is up here in the Triangle or the airport area. You are taking 540 all the way around. And it's a great freeway because it's hardly used. It's very easy to travel. But I will tell you that that is going to be your route to get up to the Triangle and up to the airport. Now, before we go any further, I want to address something directly. If you're a family doing research, Clayton is not in Wake County. Clayton is in Johnston County. So that means Johnston County schools, not Wake County schools. However, let's pull up the actual picture. So real quick, let's talk about Johnston County schools. And this is a public school review website. The caveat here is that each of these websites has their own algorithm, we all know that word now, their own computer machine learning that rates schools. However, what I wanted to point out here is this third bullet right here says Johnston County NC public schools have an average math proficiency score of 54%. Now you can look up Wake County on other sites. Wake County's not that far off from Johnston County on their test scores. Also, they have a reading proficiency score of 51%. The state average is 50%. So Johnston County is right on par with the state. Schools in Johnston County have an average ranking of 7 out of 10, which is in the top half of the North Carolina public schools. So make sure you research the school that's directly near the home that you're going to be looking at buying or moving into, and make sure of which school is supported there. A quick search on an AI assistant tells me that Johnston County does not currently have any traditional magnet schools. The closest equivalents are the Early College Academy and the Career and Technology Leadership Academy. Charter schools, there's only two public charter schools in the area, and private schools amount to 7. So the bottom line on this, and you can see this on the screen, Johnston County is light on school choice compared to Wake County. 2 charters, no true magnets, and a few private options with low enrollment. For families who prioritize school choice, it might be a limitation flag. But here's what you need to keep in mind when it comes to the school stats that we're looking at. Johnston County as a whole has a 250,000 population, 250,000 people. Wake County has 1,250,000. So it's 1 million more people, which means a lot more tax revenue, a lot more dollars to go into the school system, and a lot more demand. There's a lot more schools in Wake County. If you're considering Johnston and you'd like to find out more about Clayton, we have a lot more information we can share with you. Reach out to us. So here's the numbers that really reframe this conversation and leave you with something to think about. On an average home, your yearly property tax bill for your house in Johnston County is about $1,676. In Wake County, it's about $3,100 to $3,500. Now, obviously, if you do the multiplication over many years, that number can really add up. It's about a $1,500 difference every year. Well, in 10 years, that's 15 grand. And that's before we even talk about the home price itself. Median home prices in Clayton range right around $350,000. A nice larger home in the Clayton area is in the low $400,000s. That's about 15 to 20% below the Raleigh median average. This is where people miss the value of Clayton. There's also new construction coming up in the area that's very, very close to the downtown area, which is the cutest part of Clayton, in the $300,000 range. The next part we're going to tell you about is that $1 billion story that you're gonna wanna know about. But first, what is Clayton really like? We've looked at where it is on the map. Let's take a stroll around downtown. Clayton has a small but growing downtown, local restaurants, developing art scene, and a community that's genuinely proud of their town. The growth has been significant. The population of Clayton has more than tripled since the year 2000. All that means is there's more and more people moving into the area and seeing the value. Quick side note, Clayton is our favorite place to take our family during the holidays. Why? They decorate the downtown, it's beautiful, and they do a hayride with amazing Christmas lights out on the local farm. You gotta check it out, even if you don't move to Clayton. New construction, as I mentioned, is across several different builders and is in the 300 to 450 range. They give you real options with yards and square footage, all in a real value-based area. Johnston Regional Park just broke ground in 2025. It's an 82-acre park that's going to be large and modern and a really beautiful addition to the area. Quick note, if you'd like to see Clayton up close and you're coming to the area, pause this video and contact us. We can set up a showing in the area, show you the new construction we're talking about, what the area is like, the flowers plantation nearby, which is an amazing location, and get you a really good feel for if Clayton is a fit for you. Now, here's why I saved Clayton for this portion of the video. Novo Nordisk, the global pharmaceutical company, has begun a $4.1 billion expansion and manufacturing facility in Clayton. That is the single largest life science investment in all of North Carolina. It will bring 1,000 new jobs, and it's under construction right now. The key here is they've broken ground. There are other stories of other businesses coming into the area, but this one is real and it is happening. It is going to affect the area, and it's already starting to affect prices. They didn't pick Johnston County by accident. They picked it because of the infrastructure, they picked it because of the workforce, and they picked it because of the land. Novo Nordisk is not alone. Caterpillar, Bayer, and Griffin all have operations in the area. The Clayton Commerce Center is a $55 million new investment. This is the kind of employers concentration that builds tax base. It funds better schools, better roads, and better parks. You can trace that entire chain from one number, $4.1 billion. This is where the opportunity really is before the rest of the market prices this in. In 2028, 540 loop will be completed. The outer loop will be completed. completed all the way through Clayton, and this will be a big addition. Right now, it's just a couple of lanes that you have to take for a few miles to get down to the freeway and then take that out to 540. So this is going to change things for sure. There's also a widening of NC 42 underway. The road infrastructure around Clayton is being expanded in parallel with all the growth happening. Before I show you the final area that's going to explode in 2027, I want to tell you that Clayton is the value right now. It's 15 to 20% below the market pricing for the area. As far as comparing to most of Raleigh and the metro areas, it has access still, and it still has value. In the future, Clayton is becoming more and more of a desirable area to live and more accessible with roads and jobs. So in case you don't know, Novo Nordisk is building this $4.1 billion facility to create the pharmaceuticals Wegovy and Ozempic. These are the top weight loss pharmaceutical medications on the market today. That industry has just absolutely exploded, so much so that they're building this multi-billion-dollar facility to make more of those pharmaceuticals. The two hottest areas that are exploding near Raleigh, North Carolina are off to the east. We are going to talk about the one that we know is exploding. We're going to talk about the one that's right next door to it. Whether you say it Wendell or Wendell, it is located 15 miles east of Raleigh downtown, about 20 to 30 minutes to downtown depending on the time of day. US 64 is the main artery in and out of Raleigh, and 540 gives you a direct shot towards Research Triangle Park and the airport without going through the city. You just go around it. We'll bring up the map in just a second. Wendell is showing the fastest growing numbers in Wake County, and yes, even though it's located far out to the east, it's still within the Wake County district. So Wake County schools, etc. We'll get to all that in a second. Same school district as Cary, same school district as Apex and Holly Springs. It had a population jump in the last decade, and it just continues to grow. Home prices started around $300,000 in Wendell, and they go up from there. There are higher end sections of Wendell, so you can find luxury homes in the area if that's what you're after. The median sits well below Wake Forest, which makes it a more affordable option if you're still looking for the same equidistance from Wake Forest and from Wendell to Raleigh. So as you can see, here's the distance from Wendell to Raleigh. Here's the distance from Wake Forest to Raleigh. It's very similar, and it's not that much farther than you would be going from Wake Forest. Pay attention to this place, Knightdale. We're going to talk about that in just a second. This is the town that surprises most everyone, and a lot of smart buyers end up. Within Wendell, Wendell Falls is the biggest master planned community in the area. You can see it right here. It's very large. It's almost the size of the city of Wendell. And that is just, it's got 1,100 acres, 1,100 acres. They've built it in with an identity from day one with walkable streets and amenities in the area. Let's take a quick look at Wendell Falls. So as you can see, Wendell Falls has developed a massive amount of homes, a lot of really cute places down there, and it's a very, enclosed and safe area. A lot of people like this area because of the look and feel of newer homes, newer construction, and the amenities that it brings. Let's get on a nicer street here real quick and show you what it's all about. As you can see, they've conditioned it with a lot of the garages facing the street, really cute lots, and a really cute suburban area. This gives you a feel for what Wendell Falls is like. You can buy townhomes here, you can buy single family detached homes. All of those are available. As you can see, you've got your choice of amenities here, with this being a larger single family home with 2 garages, and you've also got those smaller homes that you just saw recently. Here's a good view of kind of a standard sized, this is a 1.5 story, 2-car garage in the area. As you can see, they've developed the area with some really cute homes and options, and it's way more affordable here than a lot of areas in the county. In this area, folks, you can walk from your home to groceries, you can walk from your home to dinner, and they have Friday night summer events, all kinds of different things that are going on. So this suburb is very hot, very desirable for people who want a more modern feel, but they're moving into a more suburban area that's rural and outside of the city. As far as shopping goes, when you're in Wendell Falls, the Treelight Square is the hot area, and outside of that, it's a little limited. You'd have to go to Knightdale for some areas, but this is Treelight tree light to get you a little bit of perspective on what it looks like. They do have a Chick-fil-A there, which is awesome. I like Chick-fil-A. And they also have what's called City Barbecue. Now, City Barbecue has a location in Cary, and City Barbecue, quite honestly, is one of the best barbecue places around. I love City Barbecue. My family goes there. We buy half pound of brisket, and we just feast on that stuff. So yeah, it is definitely worth it. So yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's limited in some ways, but you're not in the middle of nowhere. A lot of towns and small towns in the Raleigh area, there's nothing, and you're getting in the car for 20 minutes just to get some food. This is way different, and this is why Wendell is blowing up. In just a second, I'm going to compare Wendell and tell you why it's a better choice than areas that are closer to Raleigh. There are several active builders in the Wendell area, including Garment Homes. One of my personal favorites is Garment Homes. There's also Homes by Dickerson, McNeil Burbank, Brookfield. So we've got lots of builders building in the area. They have 4 builders all competing for the same buyer pool in the area. WakeMed Healthplex is also open inside the community. Wake Tech East campus has launched in the area as well. If you're familiar with this area, you will hear Wake Tech as one of the top technical schools around, and that's infrastructure that is here. It's not coming, it's already here in this area. If you're considering this area or the next area we're going to talk to, which is a quick comparison in between, where you choose is important. Some lots back up on trees, some don't, and some have better school assignments within the Wake County district. So if you're seriously considering moving, pause the video and contact us and we'll talk you through it. Don't miss this next part because a lot of people contact us about Knightdale and Wendell. I want to tell you a little bit about the difference, and I'm not adding this as an explosive area, and I'm going to tell you why. When you start looking at Wendell, you're going to look at Knightdale and go, man, it's so much closer to Raleigh. Why don't I just choose that? And it makes sense. That 64 corridor is a straight shot into Raleigh, and that makes it easier to in and out of the area. And they're both Wake County. Let me tell you the side-by-side on this. First of all, Knightdale is about 6 or 7 miles closer to Raleigh, so that does make it better. The median home price is $376 to $600. The Wendell home price is around $300 to $550. So there's a shift about $50,000 less, and you're only driving about 5 or 6 miles more. So maybe that's a choice for you. Maybe that's not. You're just like, get me as close to the city as possible. Well, we'll talk you through with that when we get in touch. The subdivisions are a little more scattered in Knightdale. I would say the dining in Knightdale is just a little more limited. We will be doing a video on that soon, so check that out when it comes out. When it comes to healthcare, you're 8 miles from a WakeMed medical facility. A lot of people look for WakeMed to be able to get to a hospital quickly. Wendell does have a WakeMed facility. So the data kind of tells a clear story. Knightdale's home prices have been softening a little bit. Days on market are climbing a little bit. What people say online on the forums and what ChatGPT has told us is that people are finding that it's limited on dining. It doesn't really have a community feel, and they find that it's very car dependent. You have to have a car to get to all the things and amenities that you need. Wendell is not perfect. It's further out and it's still building. Wendell Falls gives the town a center of gravity, and Knightdale doesn't really have that yet. Look over on the right side of the screen and you're going to see Wendell, and you've got Davidson Homes, you've got Ryan Homes, you've got Anderson. Wendell Falls is still building. All of those are new construction sites, and by my count, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the Wendell area and about 3 in the Knightdale area. So why is that? Probably because there's more land, but also the areas are more beautiful and they have a town-centric feel in Wendell. So there is a difference there, and obviously if you want to just simply be closer to the city, you can look in Knightdale. I saw some great homes in Wendell and I'm doing videos on those coming up, so subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to see what Wendell has to offer. 3 places we showed you. If those 3 places are not a good fit for you, what we recommend is pause the video, grab the email and send us what you're looking for. We can start a conversation and help you out. Nights and weekends, we're here for you. Wake Forest, Clayton, and Wendell are 3 totally different areas. They have total different vibes. Clayton's probably a little more old school. Wake Forest is a little more secluded but upscale, and Wendell is up and coming with exciting amenities coming in. Over in the corner, I'm going to give you a playlist, and we're going to meet over there and check out some other areas in Raleigh, North Carolina that might be a better fit for you. So I look forward to talking to you some more over there.